On their first date, they went to a black tie event in New York City on New Year's Eve, and they fell in love. On their second date, they were standing on the Brooklyn Bridge overlooking the picturesque New York City skyline, and my dad noticed a ring on my mom's finger. So he asked about it, and she said, "Oh, it's just, some ring one of my old boyfriends gave to me. I just wear it because I think it looks nice." And he said, "Oh, yeah, it is nice. Let me see it." And so my mom took it off and handed it to my dad, and my dad, he hurled it off the bridge. And he watched it sink to the bottom of the East River. He said, "You're with me now. You won't be needing that anymore." And my mom loved it. I think that was actually the clinching moment for them. Tells you something about my family. How is this relevant to the problem of suffering? Fair question. Well, it's typical to think of the challenge of suffering like this. We picture ourselves in this world with all of its suffering. Then we picture ourselves in a very different world with no suffering or with far less suffering. And then we wonder, surely God should have created me and the people that I love in the other world, the world with far less suffering. Reasonable thought. But there's a very important question that we forget to ask. Would it still be you and me and the people that we love who would exist in that very different world that we think we wish God had made? You see, it was a pretty risky move that my dad made when he hurled my mom's ring. Now, she loved it, but what if she hadn't? Okay, what if she had concluded, that's completely inappropriate? That would have been a pretty reasonable response. And what if she had run off with the old boyfriend instead? I don't know who the old boyfriend was. In fact, if you can believe it, 59 years later, my dad still tries to get my mom to tell him who the old boyfriend was, and she still flatly refuses to say. But I might be tempted to wonder what things would have been like if mom had wound up with the other guy. Maybe the other guy was taller. I could use a couple more inches. Maybe the other guy was better looking. Oh, I know. Maybe he was royalty. That would have been so cool. I could have lived in a castle. But there's one problem with thinking this way, with wishing that my mom had wound up with someone else. And the problem is this: I never would have existed. Maybe some other child would have existed, and maybe that child would have been taller and better looking and lived in a castle. But part of what makes me who I am, the specific individual that I am, is my beginning. The parents that I have, the sperm and egg that I came from, the combination of genes that's true of me. I'm sure my mom and her old boyfriend might have had some very nice kids, but I do not think that I would have been one of them.